Boxing Talk. This is episode 35. This your boy Town Biz. All right, so in this episode, we're gonna talk about what everybody is talking about. Basically, the fight that is not going to happen on November the 19th. And basically what I want to do, I'm going to respond to, some of the content creators that's, the extremely emotional content creators that's just mad because basically the truth is now pretty much then came out who's preventing this fight from happening. Look, I'm keeping it 100. Steven Espinosa is my man. He's a good dude, but at the end of the day, this is just damage control. All this stuff about don't believe Terrence Crawford. So now you have Steven Espinosa getting involved. Listen, there's not going to be a fight on November the 19th. This is all but a tactic to save face because now we know who's preventing the fight from happening. We sat up there and talked about, well, not me. A lot of people sat up there and tried to talk this militant black talk, this slave concentration camp talk with Bob Arum saying, Terrence Crawford was Toby and, all this and Django and all this kind of stuff. But then he basically get offered a slave deal and basically a no guaranteed contract with the PBC for the Errol Spence fight. And I did more research. They basically saying they want to pay Terrence Crawford off the net pay. What's left after they pay taxes and everybody is involved. And then they saying they don't have to show Terrence Crawford the books. So he's not even really getting no purse money. And then they pretty much want Terrence Crawford to handle all the expenses, basically, getting to the fight and all that stuff basically on his own. Now, who offers somebody a deal like that? At the end of the day, people just don't want to hear the truth. But then they had the audacity to try to call us dummies and stuff. Who tell them the truth because they still got their head up Errol Spence's butt. Oh, and by the way, I want to say something else. By the way, and this is real talk, you guys. Errol Spence fans are flagging my videos. The Errol Spence Brigade are flagging my videos for who knows whatever reason so they can't get monetized. So that just goes to show you, and they're doing it. And yeah, I'm putting them on blast. Any video I make criticizing the PBC or Errol Spence, which I really ain't went in on Errol Spence yet, they are flagging the video so they can't get monetized. Yeah, I'm airing these dudes out. And the dudes that are doing this are people that I know that claim to be cool with me. So that just goes to show you how extremely emotional Errol Spence fans is. Because they don't like what you say about Errol Spence or the PBC. They flag your videos. I just put out a stream, and I'm just telling you the truth. Not that I care about the money. It's just that the fact, hey, I have a right to earn a little money from doing these streams and stuff. They just told me that one of my videos is not eligible for monetization. I didn't even cuss in the video. I didn't use any bad language. I didn't cuss in the video because usually that was what gets you in trouble when they say the video can't be monetized. So I already knew this anyway, but now I'm airing them out. And that just goes to show you how petty they are. And to be honest with you, it's kind of suspect. That is just extremely emotional. Man, just extremely emotional. And now that these dudes can't accept the truth, who's always prevented this fight from happening, that has been the PBC Al Heyman and Errol Spence all along, who's through all the roadblocks and preventing this fight from happening. Now all of a sudden they trying to attack content creators, calling us dummy and saying we're spreading. I mean, just get out of here, dudes. Why don't y'all just take y'all L and just call it a day? Why don't y'all be men and women and just accept y'all L's? This is smart business. So let me get this straight. You mad because Terrence Crawford asked to see the books? Isn't that what you supposed to do? First of all, let me tell you something. I know for a fact when there have been issues with record labels and lawsuits involved and these type of situations with contracts, it's not like out of line or out of order. It's I mean, for real, it's pretty standard to ask to see the books. But these people so hell bent on demeaning Terrence Crawford. Oh, why does Terrence Crawford have to see the books? So he can make sure he getting the proper amount of money, dummy. I want to say this again. If you dudes don't like what I say on my videos, you can unsubscribe from my channel. And if you one of these dudes that had the audacity to have my phone number and then you flagging my videos, please erase my number or block it. I told you I don't answer to nobody. I don't check in with anybody before I put out these videos. I don't owe anybody a damn explanation on what type of content I put out. But like I said, the Errol Spence Brigade can't handle the truth because ESPN, Max Kellerman finally started to see the light. What's going on? Sounds like a duck. You didn't heard obstacle after obstacle why this fight couldn't get made. You heard other side of the street. Okay, Terrence Crawford needs to leave Bob Arum. You heard that excuse. He needs to humble himself and take less money. He was going to take less money. Daniel Canahan is in the way. Daniel Canahan is on the run, a fugitive from the law. All his assets has been frozen for the most part. How could he even remotely be in the way? Okay. You just heard excuse after excuse. What's going to be the next one? I know what's going to be the next cap. Let me tell you what the next cap going to be. The next cap is going to be, Terrence Crawford needs to fight at Cowboy Stadium. If he doesn't fight at Cowboy Stadium, he's holding up the fight because, like I said, the Errol Spence Brigade is desperate now. And they quiet. And people still putting out BS information somehow, some way, trying to try to find anything possible to try to make it look like it's Terrence Crawford's fault, basically slander his name, trying to make it look like Terrence Crawford is lying. You hearing people talking about like Terrence Crawford put some stuff on social media. Now I guess now the new thing is so Terrence Crawford is going crazy. Like some of these dudes on here is just amazing with some of the stuff that they just put out, man. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and I can tell you what kind of pudding it is. It's vanilla. Okay, it's overwhelming proof who's preventing this fight from happening. But somehow, some way, they still want to try to put this on Terrence Crawford, and they still trying to play that Uncle Tom sellout type. Look, that ain't working no more. Well, it never worked. For the most part, these dudes been quiet. The main people that was sitting up here talking all this junk about Terrence Crawford, the plantation, the slave stuff, now they ain't nowhere to be found. They sitting there with their tails tucked and stuff. And I don't know if the people that's calling people content creators dummies for putting out what ESPN said. What you mad because Max Kellerman finally said, okay, well, it appears that they don't want the fight. So a black man, once again, for y'all trying to play that black card. So let me get this straight. Terrence Crawford is supposed to believe what's told to him. He's supposed to get paid off net what the final gross and profit is. They could give that man a check for $1 if he win that fight. He should have every right to open up the books and see what they making. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let me get this. Oh, KP, I'm done with the black stuff. As far as that particular subject, they could save that black stuff. And one dude just put in the comment section, Deontay Wilder asked to see the books. You supposed to ask to see the books. So you supposed to go in a situation blind. You think a dude won't cheat you because you black? And since people want to play this black card stuff, these fake black dudes that's married to everybody but a black woman. Well, Don King cheated most of his fighters. And Don King was a black dude. And Don King was cheating black fighters out of money. So I'm supposed to play this I'm supposed to play this on code card. So I'm supposed to play this on code card when Don King wasn't on code. I'm supposed to play the on code card when Al Heyman isn't on code. They just don't want to make the damn fight. And that's all it come down to. They don't want to make the fight. They've been not trying to make this fight. Every time you looked around, it was a new obstacle in the way of making this fight. Like I said, Terrence Crawford left Top Rank almost a year ago. It shouldn't have took no 10 months to negotiate a fight. They had months to try to negotiate this fight. And it wasn't no real effort. So now that it's coming out who's really been the obstacle all along, which is the PBC and Al Heyman, now all of a sudden they get mad at the content creators for basically putting the truth out there, or what we believe is pretty much overwhelming evidence that the truth is the PBC is preventing the fight. And now here they come again, attacking content creators because we not following the script. And I know who you dudes are talking about saying, you know what I'm saying, calling some of us dummies and saying, oh, y'all dummies for trying to blame this on Errol Spence. Well, Errol Spence has to get some of the blame or a lot of the blame because he's affiliated with the PBC. He's affiliated with Al Heyman. And once again, people talking all this black stuff, but then it's obvious that the PBC, Al Heyman, is trying to cheat another black man. Don't want to pay another black man. But y'all set up there, y'all content creators constantly made videos about how Bob Arum was devaluing Terrence Crawford. But here you have a black man devaluing another black man. And then when I'm putting this information out, you trying to accuse me of being off code. Man, you guys can kiss my ass. No, better yet, you can kiss my black ass. For real. Like I said, all the reason why they don't want to show, another reason why they don't want to show the books, because I don't think the numbers and the money is what they've been saying it is. Like I said before, you ain't no big star, man. If you can't even see, man, you ain't no big star if you can't even get 50. You couldn't even get 40,000 for your last fight, selling tickets for between 30, the lowest tickets being between $35 to $45. Canelo got 70,000 up in Cowboy Stadium. That's 30,000 more than what Errol Spence was able to get. And he is not from Texas. And then these so-called Errol Spence fanatics who live in that area sit up there talking about what a big star he is and what a big draw he is, and he doing this, he doing that, but they don't even go to the fights. And then it's been a question about it, and we all know. I'm gonna hit y'all with some truth as well. Jerry Jones buy a lot of those tickets. They comped at least between 3,000 and 4,000 tickets at Errol Spence's last fight, but that they don't want you to know that. But I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. I know I'm selling out. I know I'm going against the grain. I know I'm all code. I'm not listening to none of you bozos. You guys are bozos. You guys are bums. So if I'm not on code for telling the truth, and holding a black man accountable for trying to rip off another black man, then I guess I'm off code. And like I said, these dudes are somewhere still trying to find a way to make excuses. But you guys believe this stuff. You guys believe this stuff from these dudes with these bigger channels that's just putting out flat out lies and just winging everything. And it messes it up for the dudes that's really doing the groundwork. That's just telling you guys the truth. I didn't held back on what I knew a long time ago. I know more than what I'm saying. I told a lot, like I said, I told y'all a lot a long time ago. I told y'all this 3 years ago that they was gonna pull this stuff. Everything I said came to fruition. Everything I said came to fruition. The sanctioned body said that the PBC was going to do. They don't want to mess with Bud. They don't want to mess with the dude. They think he is too big of a threat to Errol Spence and what the overall plan is. Appreciate the super chats. I really do. Appreciate the super chats. Exactly. It's funny how people want to talk all that pro-black stuff. They want to play that pro-black Malcolm X stuff, but yet Terrence Crawford has a black wife. Okay. And I don't want to get too deep into that, but Terrence Crawford has a black wife, and you know where I'm going with this, enough said. And the main ones that's trying to question Terrence Crawford's blackness or question my black card, they ain't, like I said, once again, they ain't even married to black women. Got kids by non-black women. But they trying to say I'm all code, man. I ain't even listening to these bozos no more, paying attention to them. Like I said, tell me that I'm lying. Ever since this stuff, this damning information that came out about the PBC, where these content creators at now? They done disappeared. All they doing is trying to come up with another excuse to try to figure out how to put this on Terrence Crawford. Like I said, Terrence Crawford then got more hate from black people than he got from any non-black person. And that's it. That's just fact. He didn't got more hate from his own community. Appreciate the super chat. He didn't got more hate from his own community than he didn't got from any white man from any. That just goes to show you where we are. This is supposed to be celebration. Supposed to be celebration. And if you Paru, celebration, whatever, man. It's supposed to be celebration, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, a festivity. Celebrating two of the best fighters on the planet, you know, making a fight happen that we all want to see. But instead, you got to do you got 2 or 3 people standing in the way. And then you got people once again trying to divide the community by saying, oh, well, so-and-so has came out. Look, like I said, I like Steven Espinosa, but on the real, I'm not buying what he's selling, man. Matter of fact, I want a refund. You know what I'm saying? I reject it. It's too much proof out there what's going on. Like I said before, you want a man, real talk. You want a man to basically get his money off net pay or what the final gross is, what you have left after taxes. So like I said before, and then you saying you don't want to show the man the books. You don't want him to see how much you actually made. They can F around and make, who knows? It might be successful. They may sell like 700,000 pay-per-views. They may do 18 million at the gate. And then by them not showing Terrence Crawford the books, they can send Terrence. Do you know y'all that they could literally send Terrence Crawford a check for $1? They could literally pay Terrence Crawford $1 and get away with it. And then people mad because Terrence Crawford ain't accepting that deal, saying he should humble himself. These dudes are cornballs. And if y'all listening, you dudes are cornball and you know who you are and you can make a response video. Because I already done aired y'all out a long time ago. Y'all busted. Y'all busted. Y'all busted. Y'all corny. You whack. Trash. So let me get this straight. It's okay for a black man to cheat and screw over another black man, but if the white man do it, it's supposed to be accepted, and we supposed to play into this notion about, the white man getting over on the black man. But like I said, here you have a black man basically offering another black man a flat out slave deal for a fight, and then trying to put out the notion that he don't want to fight when basically he trying to figure out what he should be paid and his value. But then you got a black man trying to devalue another black man, but nobody wants to say nothing because they gutless cowards. And then they get mad at the people who not falling in line, who not following the script, who trying to put out, respectable stories, being as factual as possible. And we getting attacked. And of course, this is by other black content creators, because you sat up there and you were biased and you put out lies. You had a personal vendetta against Terrence Crawford. And that's all it come down to. I'm so far removed from, Terrence Crawford doesn't talk to black media and all that kind of stuff. Well, he talks to black media when he wants to. He's talked to me before. I mean, he sent you know what I'm saying? He sent a personal shout out to my son when my son was real sick. So he can't be as bad as y'all make him out to be. But like I said, we all know who started this movement, that midget. Now all of a sudden, this dude is a turncoat. Now this dude is going in on the PBC because, only because he on the outside looking in. But he was one of the main ones that started this narrative where he was attacking and character assassinating Terrence Crawford. And then a lot of people fell in line. But now, like I said, you see a lot of the bigger channels are just somewhere. Oh, they numb. They ain't pushing their record buttons now. They ain't pushing. I stood by what I said. I stood by what I said for the longest. I kept telling you guys it was a lot of funny stuff going on. I told y'all there was a lot of funny stuff going on behind the scenes. And it just appears to me that Terrence Crawford then got used and he got played, and they basically don't want to make the fight. It ain't no way in hell I will take a deal where I get net pay and not see the books. And then what it is, they know a lot of these content creators are extremely emotional when it comes to the PBC, Al Heyman and Errol Spence. Well, they'll just find a way to try to make it somebody else's fault, and they'll put out false news. And and a lot of these dudes are still trying to save face. Still putting out BS clickbait material. Nah, that ain't me. I don't get down like that. Appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate it. Appreciate the super chats. That's what this is all about. I don't let anybody that know me. It is very rare, and I'll just be joking. I don't ask nobody for money, because I know a lot of y'all do whatever y'all do to get y'all money, and y'all work hard for y'all money. I'm not ever going to sit up here and demand that people give me money. I appreciate the super chats. That's just real talk. I really do. But like I said, I'm putting objective and fair stories out. I'm not on nobody. I'm going to say this once again. I'm not on nobody's payroll. I don't work for Top Rank. I don't work for DAZN, Matchroom, Golden Boy, none of those promotional companies. Not the PBC. I don't get checks from none of them. Like I said, that's the thing, man. Errol Spence seen the he'd rather, at least when it comes to certain opposition, it appears that he'd rather fight Terrence Crawford on, online instead of in the ring. Like I said before, and I know Errol Spence got dudes that he give exclusive access to, and I just want to say to you dudes that's listening, You gonna flag this video too, because I know that's what y'all gonna do. That's what y'all cowards gonna do. But that's on y'all, because at the end of the day, you still got played. So if there isn't no fight on November 19th, y'all got used and abused. And I don't think there's gonna be a fight. You don't have enough. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I was talking to my boy CB, and he kicked it. You know what I'm saying? He kicked some science. It's no way. Today is October the 1st. It's no way you could properly promote a fight that's supposed to be a super fight in 6 weeks. And basically 5 weeks. Because once again, if they would be in training camp, you basically talking about a 5-week camp, and then, like I said, 1 week for fight week preparation. So it really would be 5 weeks out instead of 6. So it ain't no way that a fight gonna happen. But you already didn't heard it's getting pushed back to December, January. Worst case scenario, February. And I just think at the end of the day, people are tired of this. Once again, we've been getting jerked around for the last 10 months. And like I said, I know the Errol Spence Brigade is desperate. I know the aerosexuals are desperate. They're hanging by a thread. You know what I'm saying? They trying to hang on to a tree, and it's about and you know, basically the branch is about to fall off because it's too heavy from all this. You know what I'm saying? From the vine swinging, too many people, you know, trying to hang from the same. I mean, come on, man, just stop it. Just accept it. Just accept it. But you won't accept it. You want to try to you want to try to attack other people who trying to be objective and put real news out there. Like I said, nobody can't like I said, why do you listen to some of these dudes, these fake Lincoln lawyer dudes who don't go to fights? Y'all know I'm out there in the trenches. Y'all know I work hard when I go to these fights. I'm out there. Y'all seen me talk to Bomac. And shout out to Bomac. Because Ashley, have you seen Bomac go in? Have you seen Bomac go in on Al Heyman? He ain't saying nothing bad about, just like when Bomac was saying, hey, we gonna try to figure this out when they was with Top Rank. Bomac didn't even let other people ask him questions about the fight. But me and Bomac is so cool. Bomac did that just for me. He did that just for me. Because he really was trying to leave. And when I did that quick interview with him, he was really trying to get up out of there. And I said, hey, Bomac, can I, you know, because Bomac was actually saying, hey, I ain't answering no questions about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I seen him tell people that, but he did it for me. He did it for me. He was sitting right next to me, him and the other coach. I think that's Coach Red. I gave up. Let me tell you something. I gave up my media seat. And I was taking pictures and all that stuff. I gave him, because, you know, they was tired. I let Coach have my seat. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. Bomac did that for me. Oh, appreciate that, man. Appreciate the donations, man. Appreciate it. Well, you know, man, I refuse to be compromised. A lot of people, and I'm just gonna tell you, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Shout out to my guy Vegas Mark. Once again, behind the scenes, I keep telling y'all, it's a lot of people behind the scenes. They mad at me. That supposed to be cool with me because I wouldn't do it. There was a campaign to personally attack Terrence Crawford. And a lot of these dudes is mad at me because I won't do it. They mad at me because I won't do it, and I'm not going to do it. Well, KP, I mean, you know, man, you've been riding with me for a minute. You know I'll keep it 100, man. I don't lie to y'all, man. I have no reason. Like I said, I'll say this once again, KP. I'm not on nobody's payroll. I'm not getting paid to do this stuff. I'm not getting, like, for real. I'm just telling the truth. If y'all didn't see it, you saw the interview with Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger. And you could tell even Mike Coppinger was like a little shocked because of what was going on. Max Kellerman don't usually flat out call nobody a duck, but he seen through the light. He was like, okay, this is enough of this stuff. And he said the same thing. Terrence Crawford would be nuts. Appreciate that. Terrence Crawford would be nuts not to ask to see the books if he gonna take a deal like this. He basically taking a Stevie Wonder deal. He basically's taking hey, did you believe in me, brother? I'd never take no slave deal like that. I would never take no deal where they say, hey, we'll pay you the net pay. We'll pay you what's left after taxes, and we pay everybody else. Hey, but we ain't gonna show you, but we don't have to show you how much we made. Like I said, they could literally pay that man $1 and say, well, after we did taxes and paid everybody and got everybody their money, this all that's left. And people mad because Terrence Crawford is trying to do respectable business because he doing smart business. You really got people out there attacking this dude for asking to see the books. That don't make any kind of sense. You actually mad at this man for trying to be a smart businessman? Is y'all really that emotionally taxed? Is y'all that far gone? Is y'all that far? No, I'm serious. Is y'all that far gone? I mean, Charlo got paid, I heard, a decent amount of money for becoming undisputed. And by the way, his last fight was at a damn tennis stadium. And he couldn't even get 8,000 people to come see him fight. They was telling people that happened to be coming from a soccer game to go over to the next stadium and just find a seat. That's how, for real. And that's fact. That was confirmed by at least 2 or 3 people that went to that fight. They had some kind of event at the bigger stadium because over there in Carson, where the Sports Dignity Health Center is, they have 2 stadiums. They have the gigantic, well, I ain't gonna say they have the soccer stadium, which the Chargers temporarily played in until SoFi Stadium was ready. And then they have the tennis stadium. They literally right next to each other. They were telling people to go into the tennis stadium and they could watch a fight for free. And keep in mind, at capacity, that place only hold like 9,000 people. And keep in mind, this was for Undisputed. Charlo couldn't even get people to come see him in his hometown or at the Staples Center. So, like I said before, but we talking about Terrence Crawford don't have this, he don't have that. Terrence Crawford sold out the Mandalay Bay. Smaller venue, but he still sold it out. He still was able to get almost 12,000 people. He sold like 11,000 seats. So like I said, so just stop it with this. So just stop it. All this stuff about Terrence Crawford don't got no fan base. He sold out Lincoln and Omaha. He was able to get over 10,000 at Madison Square Garden. So just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it with this drawing power stuff. Like I said, the man agreed to take less money, but still that ain't good enough for people. And like I told you, I'm not following nobody's script. I'm not worried about nobody being mad at me, man. So I'm just saying the PBC been you know what I'm saying. The PBC been misleading the public, and like I said, anybody, but like I said before, let's really get deep into this thing since everybody want to play this black card stuff. Let's get really deep because, like I said, I'm finna unload though. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying. I'm finna let off some, some virtual, shots since everybody want to play that black card stuff. Here's the thing. I've applied, and this is just real talk. This is real talk. Cause y'all know, anybody that follow my channel, y'all know what I talk about. Nobody puts it on the line more than I do. And I've never compromised myself for the content that I put out. I done got in trouble some of the stuff that I didn't put out. So don't ever try to question my blackness, because nobody gets deep like I do for the most part. But then, like I said, you got these fake media content creators that, like I said, want to only play the black card when it comes to Terrence Crawford. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. This is real talk. Everybody knows that I'm a media member, that I actually cover fights. I'm a credentialed boxing reporter. Okay. And this is real talk because I want everybody to know. Because y'all need to hear this. I want everybody to know. Everybody knows that I cover live boxing events. I'm a credentialed boxing reporter, journalist, whatever you want to call it. Every top rank event that I've applied for, I've got credentialed. Y'all gonna hear some truth today. Every top rank event that I've covered, I've got credentialed without no problem. You know how many PBC events did I apply for a media credential? I applied for every fight, every PBC fight for a media credential, and I've been turned down. I've applied for at least well over 10 PBC events, and out of 10, I only got credentialed for one. And let me tell you what event it was. The only PBC card that I got credentialed for was the Steve Fulton fight in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the only reason why they credentialed me for that fight, you know why? Because nobody came to that fight. Nobody wanted to cover that fight. I'm one of the only people that's like mainstream media coverage of boxing that don't get credentialed for PBC events. What? I said something bad about the PBC, so I can't get credentialed, but yet you had Steve Kim and other people who ripped the PBC to shreds to say that anytime a PBC fighter loses, it's a good day for boxing, but they still credential him. So PBC did deny me access to several fights. They only credentialed me for one fight. And like I said, it was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I sent my son there on my behalf because he lives out there. That's the only fight they gave. They pretty much only wanted to credential me for a Chitlin circuit fight. I didn't apply for all these fights. I just got denied for the Fundora fight. So while y'all sitting up talking this black stuff, and here's the thing, the so-called people that's supposed to be down with me, they ain't called out the PBC for basically freezing me out. And I've been quiet about this. But here's the thing. Every top rank event that I've applied for, I got in. And then here's the thing. Say what you want to say about Top Rank, which, by the way, Bob Aaron don't really handle the media stuff. Top Rank give a lot of credentials out to black media. When Shakur Stevenson fought in Atlanta, a fight that I covered, it was primarily nothing but black media there. Oh, and let me tell you a little secret, though. I wasn't even supposed to get credentialed for the Shakur Stevenson fight against Jamel Herring in Atlanta. But the dude that run the media thing, he took care of me. He got me in. He got me a spot at the last minute. So don't try that black card stuff with me, man. Don't try that black. Don't ever question my blackness. I'm out here always putting it on the line. So did y'all know that? I bet you these content creators ain't telling you that. I bet you these content creators ain't telling you that. I didn't tell you. I didn't apply for I didn't apply for mostly all of the PBC events for media credentials. And it wasn't just for me. It was just for brothers who wanted to try to cover the sport. I wasn't going to always go myself. I had people that I was going to send. That, you know what I'm saying? That love the PBC. You know what I'm saying? Just to give them experience to cover a boxing event. But they won't let me in. They won't let me in. And I know for a fact that they give people that got less subscribers than me media credentials. But nobody wants to talk about that. But this is coming from the so-called power to the people brothers. Some of the people that I'm supposed to be down with, they won't call them out. But then they say they down with me. So I'm just telling you the truth. Top Rank ain't never denied me a press credential. Every fight that I applied for, I got credentialed. There was 2 fights that I missed. See, people see, there go your truth. There goes your truth right there. I ain't never got a call from Top Rank about any of the content that I didn't put out. And y'all know that I didn't rip Lomachenko to shreds. And I stand by what I say about Lomachenko. I think he is overrated as hell. Good fighter, but he overrated as hell. Ain't nobody called me talking about, hey man, why you put that video out? But I can tell you this, but you put a video out about a PBC fighter and they don't like it. They may call you. So there's your truth. There's your truth. The so-called company that's ran by the black man, they've been freezing out a lot of black media. Good black media. And anybody that follow me, y'all know my word is my bond. If I'm lying about the PBC denying me all these fights, man, for real, I'll put that on my life. I could die in my sleep tonight if I'm lying about. I didn't apply for every fight. I didn't apply for all of the PBC fights that I wanted to cover, and I got denied. Got denied. Because what you don't know is when you apply for a fight, you have to wait. And they let you know whether you credentialed like a week before the fight. And they always say, hey, unfortunately, this happened. So they'll say they ain't got a spot for me. But then I'll go to a YouTuber channel who got like 1,000 subscribers and he got credentialed for one of their events. So how does that work? But I see people ain't saying that though. I see people ain't talking about that. Oh, appreciate the super chat. Appreciate it. But I see people ain't talking about that. Nobody wants to talk about that. Yeah, I'm putting it out there. They didn't the PBC always turning me down. They turned down the other brother, WBC. He been having trouble getting in, and it's a lot of other dudes. This is black media, but y'all always be trying to play that black card when it comes to the PBC, but yet they freezing out good black media. Now, listen, I understand Fight Hype being there. I understand Ellie Setback being there, and I understand Fight Hub being there. Okay, that's understandable. But some of these other people that's getting in over me, that's very questionable. That's very questionable. So I can say this, I can say this much. Top Rank do take care of black media. Because Arthur Better Bia's last fight, there was damn near nothing but black media at Arthur Better Bia's fight versus Joe Smith Jr. That's who was mostly there. But I guess I'm selling out, right? Because I'm telling the truth about what's going on. I guess I'm throwing PBC under the bus, even though they freezing me out. When I don't get in, that's a missed opportunity for other people. And some of the people that I was gonna send to these fights on my behalf are people that support the PBC wholeheartedly. And then another thing is I'm sick of being tied to that goofy cornball Fred. That's another reason why people are not getting in, because they think everybody that say that use that word LDBC or have affiliation with the LDBC is attached to Fred. Fred did all this damage, was trying to act like he was the leader of the LDBC. Now he going on channels. Talking about, oh, I was never in the LDBC. Well, you sure was pretending like you was. You sure was pretending like you ran the LDBC. So that's another reason we got to pay for what goofy ass Fred did. That lame, that cornball. So it's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. So do that mean I should suffer because of what happened with Fred? Real talk. Oh, the truth coming out today. So y'all want to play that black card. So y'all want to play that black card, right? Since some of y'all want to play that black card. I cannot remember how many, to be honest with you, 10 might be an understatement for how many PBC events I applied for media credential and got turned down. I could put it to you this way. Every PBC fight they done had since they then opened up since they didn't started back to letting media openly come cover these fights, I've been turned down. But like I said, nobody talking about that. I don't see nobody calling them out on my behalf. I don't see nobody calling them out on my behalf, but they supposed to be down. But these dudes be talking about they down for me. But at the end of the day, some of these dudes done got attitudes with me because I won't be an Errol Spence sack hugger. And like I said, I just want to know. I just want to know, why is that? I thought we all supposed to have difference of opinions as long as we respect each other. But that's a lot of these dudes talk that stuff. I've said on several occasions, I don't care if you have a difference of opinion with me. As long as you don't disrespect me, that's fine. I'm okay with that. You can have a difference of opinion. You can have a difference of opinion. Just don't disrespect me. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. But y'all needed to know the truth. Y'all needed to know the truth. This is what been getting did to me. This is what been getting did to me. But I keep applying. I keep applying. But this is y'all so-called, oh, and don't try to come with that, you know who Al don't know who getting in and who not getting in. Well, he sure could make a phone call and tell people who not to let in. So how the hell he don't know who getting in and who applying? Let me explain something to you guys. Al Heyman is a narcissist. He knows everything. Okay? Don't sit up there and say that he doesn't know what's going on, because he do. He do. Look, I didn't been around people who then called Al Heyman. Oh, he knows what's going on. I'm not gonna say these people name. I've been around a few people that they called Al Heyman. Al Heyman know what's going on. He knows what's going on. Trust me. And like I said, Al Heyman didn't hurt himself because, like I said, he won't make himself available to the media. And for all you sack huggers talking about he don't have to talk to the media, well, why not? Eddie Hearn makes himself available. Bob Arum makes himself available. Don King makes himself available. Oscar De La Hoya makes himself available. But Al Heyman don't have to make himself available. But then you got all these fighters who contractually obligated, who have to say thank you, Al Heyman. He don't have to talk to us. That's the thing. It's like what Max Kellerman said. A lot of this stuff could be sorted out if Al Heyman would communicate with the media. Al Heyman could call for a conference call and have selected media and talk to us and let us know what's going on. But due to the fact that he makes himself unavailable, then people have no choice but to say what they say about him. And that's just real talk. I'm not trying to take for real. So like I said before, the so-called company listen, don't time anybody out. Don't time anybody out, please. Everybody have a right to say what they want to say as long as it's respectful. Look, it's no secret. And I'm going to keep it 100. It is no secret that I have affiliation with the LDBC. I've never said I didn't. But I've also went on record and said that there's a lot of dudes in the LDBC that don't like me. Which I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I'll be all right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I'm keeping it 100. I'm telling the truth about a lot of the hatred and basically the ostracizing of LDBC affiliates getting into fights happened because of that midget Fred, that liar, that fraud. Everybody knows Fred was sitting up there acting like he was just tied to the LDBC. But when stuff went sour for him, and like I said, Fred is the biggest hypocrite out there. If I really wanted to, like for real, if I really told people what I really knew about Fred, like I said, because Fred is a liar, and Fred was sitting up there saying stuff about me behind my back, like the true coward that he is. And you can make all the videos you want about how you going to the gym and all that stuff. And you can talk about videos about how you got your tools, like you don't like you the only one that got tools, like you bought the last tool ever made. Bro, stop it. And I know, and like I said, and here's some more truth. Like I said, a lot of this stuff being ostracized started with Fred. Because Fred is a liar. Let me tell you what Wright said Fred did to me. That's another one. He had pictures of Malcolm X and be talking about Malcolm X and all that stuff. Like I said, he a fraud. He's a straight up fraud, and he's a compulsive liar. He's a habitual liar. Or as Jamie Foxx would say, he a habitch. Fred talk all this black stuff. Fred tried to sabotage me. Fred tried to get my credentials took. Fred tried to get me banned from covering Top Rank fights. It may have worked with the PBC, but Fred tried to literally get me. Fred tried to get my credentials yanked from Top Rank. And Fred tried to sabotage me. Fred tried to sabotage me with a trainer. When I first started covering boxing for Dante's Boxing Nation, because I want everybody to know what type of fraud Fred is. I want everybody to know what type of fake ass dude Fred is. Fred talk all that black stuff, but then Fred was behind the scenes trying to sabotage black people. Fred can dish it out, but he can't take it. He want to cry about somebody doing something to him, but then he tried to do the very same thing to somebody. But we'll leave it at, like I said, Fred is a complete fraud. That dude lived 10 minutes away from Nipsey Hussle's store, and he never took his black ass down there. Then when Nipsey Hussle, and he admitted to me, and then when Nipsey Hussle passed away, then he trying to buy all this marathon stuff and buying hoodies and stuff. But your ass lived right down the street from that place. You lived less than 10 minutes tops from where Nipsey Hussle's store was. And you never took your ass down there. You admitted to me that you never went down there. And then you was fronting. But yeah, Fred, he tried to sabotage me with Top Rank. He tried to get my credentials took. But my man, you know what I'm saying? My man, Justin McRae, he looked out for me. Evan Korn, one of the dude that pretty much run the media stuff, he kind of knew that Fred was fake and knew Fred was, and he let me back in. The only reason why I wasn't getting credentialed at first is because, what happened when the demic happened. And when they started lightly letting media back in, I understood they, you know what I'm saying, they had to be limited. But like I said, I've gotten into every Top Rank card. But yeah, Fred, he tried to send a video. I don't know if you guys remember when I was going to a certain gym, I put out a video. Now, it was miscommunication. I'd accidentally put out a video where I broke down a sparring session. I didn't film it, and see what happened was the dude left me at the gym. He asked me, "Hey, are you leaving or are you staying to watch the sparring session?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna watch the sparring session." I'm not gonna say who the fighters was, but what happened was I stayed and watched the sparring session. He told me, the dude told me, "Oh, you can watch the sparring session." He said, "Don't film it." So I'm like, okay, I didn't film it. And I saw the sparring session. It was a good sparring session. It was a good sparring session. So I made a video and I broke the sparring session down to the very last compound. Actually, I was a little too good. So, like maybe 2 or 3 days later, now this dude didn't even know I had my own channel because I was going there under the Dante's Boxing Nation banner. So like 2 or 3 days later, and this dude, he knew I had a channel. So 2 or 3 days later, I get a call from Dante. And he like, so-and-so is really mad at you about the video you put out. And I'm like, what video? Oh, where you was talking about the sparring session. He mad. He don't want you to come to the gym no more. And I'm like, what? So I called the dude and I apologized to the dude. I said, well, it was miscommunication. You told me don't film the sparring session. You didn't tell me not to talk about it. You should have said, hey, don't film it. Don't talk about it. But eventually, the dude was mad at me for a while. And to a certain degree, he told his fighters not to talk to me. But eventually, everything got sorted out. I apologized to him again, and then everything got fixed. And I was thinking to myself, how did dude dude didn't even know I had my channel? And I wondered who sent him that video. And I was like, okay, I know who sent them the video after a while. It took me a while, but I believe it was the midget, because the midget had dude's phone number. So I'm just saying, but these are your so-called black people. These are your so-called Malcolm X followers. These are your so-called power to the people Negroes. And I held this in for a while. So I'm just keeping it a buck. But that's that cornball. But that's that cornball. And it's not, and it's a lot more than I'm not saying. But that's your black people for you. That's your black people for you. That's your people. Real talk. But I just wanted to get this out there. But anyway, I'll be back with more. Appreciate the time. This your boy Town Biz, man. And thanks for the support. I'm out. And you better not, but that's your boyfriend.